So the question that pops up quite a bit for people in micro businesses that just started is, when do I transfer from being a sole trader to being a company? And it's a really good question, right? Because there's pros and cons both ways. Let's be honest, a company costs more to run. There's overheads, there's in terms of filing fees, additional costs for tax returns, additional complexity, um, corporations acts to deal with, etc. So, yeah, it's not an easy answer, but there are some guidelines that we give to our clients and general thoughts you should consider when you're doing this. The first one is, from a pure tax perspective, um, a company is going to be taxed at either 25% or 30% in the dollar for every dollar of profit that it makes. Whereas if you're running a sole trader business, then this is going to be taxed at your marginal rates. So what that would mean for a sole trader is, for example, he makes $10,000, is they won't pay any income tax, whereas a company will pay either $2,500 or $3,000 income tax. And so obviously that's got a lot bigger cost for a very, very small business. The break-even point from a tax perspective for this is around about $130,000, $140,000. So once you've got profit, not revenue, profit above $130,000, then it starts making more sense from a tax perspective to have a company and not a sole trader. Some of the other pros and cons I can think about for a company. Companies obviously can pay frank dividends. Sole trader, and they're paid out to the shareholders. Now, if you've got a trust in place, you can obviously stream that income through to other people. Whereas as a sole trader, that income sits with you personally. Companies also give you some liability protection, because if you've got a company set up, it's the company that's engaged to do the work, and hence the company that will get sued if something goes wrong. Whereas as a sole trader, you're personally liable for that. It's same if you've got employees too. I mean, while there is plenty of law around there that we look through for various work cover issues and sort of stuff, the starting point for litigation between an employer and the person who's working for is the entity it's signed up for. So, for example, if you've hired if a company is the one doing the hiring, it's the first thing in the firing line, not you personally. The third most important thing is a professionalism, I suppose. I might put it that way. So, and look, we've all done it, right? If you go out there and try a new product and you see who's selling you the product, if it's a company, PTO Ltd company, then yeah, look, it just feels a little more professional, I suppose. Whereas if it's a sole trader, Joe Smith trading as XYZ, it doesn't quite feel as professional. So there's one of those considerations to think about there as well. The way I would recommend setting up a small business is really start out as a sole trader. You don't need the extra burden and extra cost of setting up a company before you've even managed to prove whether your business idea is going to work or not. So get set up, get working on the business. If you show some track record and can actually show that things going to be profitable, yeah, then you can convert to a company. There's tax rules out there that allow you to transfer a business from your personal name to a company without incurring CGT, capital gains tax. If you've got a business and it's making you some money and you dispose of that business, that is, you sell it to a company, that is a capital gains tax event. And normally you'd pay capital gains tax on that. However, there are certain provisions out there in the Tax Act that allow you to roll that gain over into the company and not pay tax at that point in time. These small business restructure provisions are really, really useful for in this circumstance. As far as GST goes, ABNs go, that sort of stuff, there's no difference whether you're a sole trader, whether you're a business in a company, or whether you're in a business in a trust or a partnership. They can be all be the same. The last piece, I suppose, is around looking at, and again, some of the basics here is when you do set a company up, make sure that it's got its own bank account, make sure that the assets are transferred into the company name. This includes things like URLs, your website, your name, for example, www. whatever, making sure that any other intellectual property you've got is transferred to the company name. If you've got contracts, are they in the right entity? Insurance, absolute must to make sure it's transferred to the right entity. Nothing worse than getting sued, needing to use your insurance, only finding out it's in your personal name and not in the company name, for example. Yeah. So lots to think about. We've got a great little checklist that will help you work through these issues, and we'll attach it in the link. Awesome. Thanks. Bye.